Tonight is not just another World Cup group stage match. For Portugal, this is a pressure test. For Roberto Martínez, this is a tactical test. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, this could be one of the most important nights of his final World Cup story. Portugal came into this tournament with star power, experience, and one of the most talented squads in the world. But after their frustrating 1-1 draw against DR Congo, the mood around the team has changed. Portugal had possession, Portugal had control, but Portugal did not have the cutting edge. Reuters reported that Portugal completed huge numbers of passes and dominated the ball, but the attack still looked blunt. And now, against Uzbekistan, there is no room for another mistake. Portugal are under pressure tonight. This is the kind of match where a big team is expected to win, but that expectation is exactly what makes the night dangerous. On paper, Portugal have the better squad. They have world-class names, Champions League experience, and Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest footballers of all time. But World Cups are not won on paper. They are won in moments. They are won when pressure is high, when criticism is loud, and when one mistake can change the entire path of a tournament. Portugal's opening game against DR Congo was supposed to be a confident start. Instead, it became a warning sign. João Neves gave Portugal an early lead, but DR Congo came back and earned a 1-1 draw. Reuters reported that Portugal failed to register another shot on target after taking the lead, while Ronaldo was heavily marked and missed chances close to goal. That is why tonight matters so much. Because if Portugal beat Uzbekistan, the story changes. The pressure cools down, the confidence comes back. The group opens up again. But if Portugal drop points again, the questions become louder. Is this team too dependent on Ronaldo? Is Martinez getting the balance wrong? Are Portugal still one of the favorites? Or are they already showing cracks? Portugal are not in crisis yet, but they are definitely uncomfortable. A draw in the first match is not the end of the world, but in a World Cup group stage, it changes everything. It removes the safety margin, it makes the second game feel heavier, and it forces every player to walk onto the pitch, knowing that anything less than a win will create panic. Roberto Martínez has tried to calm the situation. Before the Uzbekistan match, he said Portugal are not feeling pressure and that the group is united. He also said the team started the DR Congo match well, but lost discipline and structure after the first 20 minutes. That line is very important because it tells us the problem was not talent, it was control, it was rhythm, it was decision-making. Portugal began well, but they could not keep the game under control. They had the ball, but they did not hurt the opponent enough. They had Ronaldo in the box, but they could not consistently find him in dangerous positions. And when a team with Portugal's quality dominates possession but still fails to finish the job, the criticism becomes unavoidable. Now we come to the biggest talking point. Cristiano Ronaldo. Every Portugal match at this World Cup is not just a team story, it is also a Ronaldo story. He is not just another player in this squad. He is the symbol, he is the headline, he is the player everyone watches first. But that also means he carries the pressure first. After the DR Congo draw, many people questioned Ronaldo's role in the team. Some asked whether Portugal are still building too much of their attack around him. Others asked whether the team becomes less fluid when the pressure to find Ronaldo becomes too strong. But this is the problem with Ronaldo. You can question him, you can criticize him, you can say he is older now, you can say the game has changed, but you can never ignore him because Ronaldo has built his entire career on nights like this. Nights when people doubt him, nights when the pressure is massive, nights when one goal can flip the conversation completely. Tonight, he does not just need to play. He needs to deliver. Not necessarily with 3 goals, not necessarily with a perfect performance, but he needs to influence the game, he needs to attack the box, he needs to make Uzbekistan's defenders uncomfortable. He needs to give Portugal the presence they lacked after the first goal against DR Congo. Because if Ronaldo scores tonight, the narrative changes instantly. Suddenly, the criticism becomes fuel. Suddenly, Portugal look dangerous again. Suddenly, the Ronaldo problem becomes the Ronaldo answer. But this match is not only about Portugal. Uzbekistan are also under pressure. They lost their opening match 3-1 against Colombia, which means they cannot afford to be passive tonight. They know that another defeat could damage their hopes badly. That makes them dangerous because they have nothing to lose. Against Portugal, Uzbekistan do not need to dominate the ball. They do not need to play beautiful football for 90 minutes. They need to stay compact. They need to frustrate Portugal. They need to force Ronaldo and the Portuguese attack into rushed decisions. And if they get one chance on the counterattack, they have to take it. This is exactly the type of game that can become uncomfortable for a favorite. Portugal will probably have more possession. Portugal will probably control the tempo. Portugal will probably create more chances. But if Uzbekistan survive the first 20 or 30 minutes, belief will grow. The longer the score stays level, the more pressure moves toward Portugal. And that is the trap. Portugal cannot just win this game. They need to start fast, play with purpose, and avoid letting Uzbekistan feel comfortable. Portugal's biggest problem from the opening game was not possession. It was penetration. They moved the ball, but they did not break the opponent enough. They controlled territory, but they did not create enough clear danger. They had experienced players, but the attack did not feel sharp after the early goal. Tonight, that has to change. Portugal need width. They need faster passing. They need runners around Ronaldo. They need midfielders arriving late into the box. They need to stop playing safe football when the game is asking for a killer pass. If they move the ball slowly, Uzbekistan will enjoy that. Uzbekistan will sit deep, protect central areas, and force Portugal into crosses from poor positions. But if Portugal move quickly, switch play, and attack before Uzbekistan settle, the game can open up. This is where players like Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, João Neves, and the wide attackers become crucial. Bruno has to find pockets of space. Bernardo has to create rhythm and control. João Neves has to bring energy and timing. The wide players have to stretch Uzbekistan's defensive shape. Ronaldo can finish the move, but Portugal must create the move properly. If the service is poor, Ronaldo will look isolated. If the movement around him is strong, he can become lethal. That is the key. Portugal do not just need Ronaldo to deliver. They need to deliver Ronaldo the right chances. Roberto Martínez also has a big job tonight. He has to manage the emotional temperature of the squad. If Portugal start well and score early, he has to make sure they do not repeat the same mistake from the DR Congo match. They cannot score once and then lose structure. They cannot allow the match to become messy. They cannot let Uzbekistan back into the game through a lack of concentration. And if the first goal does not come early, he has to make sure the team does not panic. This is the difference between a good team and a tournament team. Good teams have talent. Tournament teams have patience. Portugal must show both tonight. Martinez also has to make the right tactical calls. Does he keep Ronaldo central for the full match? Does he use more pace around him? Does he push the fullbacks higher? Does he make earlier substitutions if the attack becomes slow again? These decisions matter. Because in World Cup football, managers do not get unlimited time to fix problems. One wrong change, one late reaction, or one stubborn tactical idea can cost a team badly. Portugal have enough quality to win this match, but they must look like a team that understands the danger. The big storyline tonight is simple. Can Portugal turn pressure into power? Because right now, they are standing at a dangerous point in the group. A win puts them back on track. A draw keeps the pressure alive. A loss would be a World Cup shock. And for Ronaldo, this game feels even bigger because every match now carries legacy weight. This could be his last World Cup. Every touch, every chance, every shot, every reaction is being watched. And in a tournament where other stars are already creating huge moments, the spotlight on Ronaldo becomes even brighter. That is why tonight feels personal. Ronaldo does not only need to help Portugal win, he needs to remind the world that he can still decide World Cup nights. For years, Ronaldo has lived in pressure. He has carried clubs, carried expectations, carried national hopes, and carried debates that never seem to end. Tonight is another one of those moments. If he scores, people will say he still has it. If he struggles, people will ask whether Portugal need to move in a different direction. That is the reality of being Cristiano Ronaldo. The standard is different, the spotlight is different, the pressure is different. So tonight, Portugal walk into a match they are expected to win. But expectation is pressure. Uzbekistan will try to frustrate them. The crowd will watch Ronaldo. The critics will watch Martinez. And every missed chance will make the tension grow. Portugal have the quality, they have the experience, they have the names, but now they need the performance. Because after the draw against DR Congo, this is no longer just a simple group stage match. This is a statement match. This is a response match. This is the kind of match where a favorite has to remind everyone why they were feared in the first place. For Uzbekistan, it is a chance to shock the world. For Portugal, it is a chance to restore control. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, this is the kind of night where legends are either questioned again or remembered again. Tonight, Portugal are under pressure, and Ronaldo must deliver.